Building Westlands just up the road, called the Stingray, and is also capable of lifting the nuclear bomb. They also carry the air-to-air missile called the Sidewinder. Now she's called the H101 folks because it costs everyone costs. In Harbour. And the fort's on the right hand side there, that is the No Fort. That was built some 150 years ago in defence of Weymouth Harbour. It's now a military museum, and to do so it's very, very interesting indeed. All the yachts you can see in there are the Paralympians actually racing. But then we might get a closer look at some of them a bit later on. And the lighthouse on the right hand side there, that's fully automatic and works on density. Many years ago was actually manned with 3 permanent lighthouse keepers. And on our left hand side here is what we call the checkered fort. Now it's called that because it's covered in black and white squares. And 150 troops used to live in there during the war. And they also used to house the anti-submarine gear there for that and for this entrance. Because when the harbours weren't in use, they used to pull the big nets across the entrances to stop the enemy submarines coming in and loosing off their torpedoes at our ships at anchor or alongside of the jetty. Although she does still belong to the Ministry of Defence, and they turned her into a Special Forces playground. That's the special boat and the Special Air Service. Sometimes we can hear some very loud bangs, see some very bright lights, and lots of small craft whizzing around at about 30 knots, chasing anything away that gets too close. And the entrance on the left there, that is called the Hood entrance. Now, in the First World War, they took HMS Hood and they sunk her there, and used her as a block ship. And when she went down, she turned over, and she's still there today. And that's why the wires are across there, to stop large vessels entering or leaving through that channel. will work. She is, at the moment, she is headquarters for the Paralympic security. She's coordinating all the police boats and SAS, SBS, Marines, Army, Navy, soldiers, the lot. Now, she's actually a front-line assault ship. Now, when the powers to be decide they want to take a beach, they'll send a load of these ships in full of soldiers and Marines. They'll come in, they'll drop their anchor, they'll pump water into the vessel, sink it down about 10 foot or so, open the back door, and out will come small craft and attack the beach. When they've established some kind of presence there, folks, a whole load more will come in to back them up. Now, she's about 20 to 25,000 tons, a working crew of about 300. There, you'll see what I'd call a pointy whirligig thing, for want of a better term. It's actually called the goalkeeper. It's an anti-missile device. Now, when the missiles are actually fired at you, you'll see them coming towards you on the radar. And it'll set off this goalkeeper in that direction. And it's like a modern-day Gatling gun. It fires 4,000 rounds of bullets per minute. And it just decimates anything in its path. Landing crafts and a couple of larger ones there. Police ribs and all kinds of things. Now, if you look up on top of Portland there, folks, you can see an old Napoleonic fort. Now, that today is the Portland prison. And like most prisons, it is overcrowded. And the large golf ball that's up there, now it's not the prison golf course, it's a radar. And that now monitors all air traffic coming across the channel towards the UK, for obvious reasons these days. And the large stone archway that's up there, that is the entrance to the prison. And halfway down the island, between us and the entrance, is all cemetery. And a chap is buried in it called Jack Mantle. He was one of the very first persons in the last war to win the VC. His ship was sinking as it was being attacked by enemy aircraft. And even though the abandoned ship signal had gone, he was still firing his guns at the enemy. And when they found him, his finger was still on the trigger, still strapped to his gun, but he was mortally wounded, and his award was posthumous. Name of the vessel was the Foilbank, and it was sunk about 200 yards away on our left-hand side now. But of course the wreck has been cleared today. Now, as I turned the boat round, all the police boats decided not to follow me, put them into position, under heavy enemy gunfire and adverse weather conditions. Now, they are in actual fact hollow and half full of water and sat on the bottom. And if this water was pumped out, once again float and may be used. Get my little leaflet out now. Now, the yachts that are racing on the left-hand side, folks, they are actually Olympians racing. What that big gin palace is doing there, I don't know. He's obviously allowed to be in there. He's not being chased by the police. By the size of the pebbles. Now, originally Portland was an island, and the old-timers say that Chesil Beach was washed there in one night in a great gale, and it's the only road to and from Portland today. And back a few winters ago, we had some horrendous gales here on top of our spring tides. Portland was actually cut off for several hours a day for several days, as the high tides and the high winds drove the sea over the top of the Chesil Bank and flooded out Victoria Square completely. And the cliffs that are in there, folks, there's quite a pleasant walk along there. It's partly the old disused railway line from Weymouth to Portland.